I've always had this theory that gardeners tend to live longer and are healthier, mainly because they're around plants that supply so much. Your brain is operating on a completely different level when it's in nature. You become part of something. It's just impossible that you can go into a garden and not feel better. The garden is a healing agent. And it's the sense of hope that has all this healing power.
We've known for millennia that plants heal us, and we're just starting to learn how the chemicals in plants and even the bacteria in soil are beneficial to our health.
This is what I call the jardin de refusé. Now it's become life.
Marjorie Harris is a renowned author and gardening columnist who attributes her health and longevity to a lifetime of gardening. For her, gardens grow more than plants, they grow hope.
Here I am, double the age of my parents when they died, and it never occurred to me I would last this long. And a lot of that I do attribute to being in a stable place, having this garden and watching it grow. My doctor used to always say, well, of course you're healthy because you're a gardener. And I would say, yeah, but I don't get enough cardio. I don't do this, I don't do that. She said, but you're moving, you're stretching, you're doing something with your body. And as long as you keep on doing that, you'll be in relatively good shape. The more limited you become with your abilities, it's fine as long as you're doing something that's within a range that you're trying to stretch your range ever so much. I mean, I can't kneel anymore, but I can sit and I can walk and I can bend. And I'll keep doing them, and as they all start falling off, I'll get other people to do it for me. And I will stand there and enjoy it. I just throw stuff back in the garden. There, look at that. Lady's mantle. So lady's mantle would be a very old plant. The lady would be Mary. And this is a plant where the leaf holds the last drop of dew in the morning. So sometime if you get out here early enough, there'll be one drop of dew right in the center of, it's just heaven. I find that the garden is more intellectually stimulating now. It's a really good place to sit and think. The garden has taught me to be fairly elastic about ideas. It is a great place to contemplate whatever it is that's inside you or that is bothering you. The garden insists that you stop and release all of the really good chemicals in your brain so that you can stop and relax. And this is one of the things about the garden as a healing element, is it teaches patience. Gardening isn't the answer to all of life's problems, but sure as hell is an answer to a lot of life's problems.
Vic Sikansky is a sculptor in the prairies who has grown his own vegetables since the 1940s. Here in the spring, he is getting his planting started.
And what's nice about it is that it's a perennial. And like even in the wintertime, I can come out here and dig through the snow and just grab a handful of green thyme under the snow to throw in soup or stew. Or here's one here, ready to eat. Tastes like peas and crunchy. My first landscapes as a kid were gardens. In the evenings, for example, we'd go to the allotment to do some work, and my dad had forged a small shovel for me that I could carry on my shoulders like the rest of the men. The garden was always big, you know, and back then I started including garden images in my work. For me to find the backyard garden as the source of my imagery, it just seems natural. If it wasn't for the experiences that I had as a kid, my first recognition of place, because of those experiences that I ended up being a sculptor.
At 83 years old, Vic still moves around his garden with ease, a great example to his grandchildren.
You know, to good health, to good mental health, good physical health. We live in such a stressed out world and such a frenetic world with people with iPhones and iPads and computers and all of that stuff that really disconnects people completely, I think, from reality. My job is to make sure that my grandkids have that experience that I had as a kid. It's good for your mind, it's good for your soul, and it's good for your body. You know, when you're out here, you're moving around. It's like doing Qigong or Tai Chi.
Della Rice Sylvester is a Cowichan medicine woman. To the Cowichan people, the garden is everywhere, and that garden is a pharmacy.
Plantain, eh? So when I'm making medicine with plantain, plantain is good for the skin. You got burns, sunburns, sores, eczema. Plantain is number one. It's anything for the skin. And the seeds, I don't pick the seeds until they're brown, so you have to come out almost every day and be doing this. And I figure, like these seeds are the same as these seeds, right? They're psyllium. These guys, Plantago major, frog's leaf. They even called it white man's footsteps, for heaven's sakes. And I figured that was because 10 to 1, it was in the cuffs. It was in the pant cuffs when people traveled, right? So these ones are like gum. I lived with my grandmother here in the Cowichan Valley. And every day we would go over to her sister's house. My grandmother was a midwife, and her sister did all the medicine of the culture and the medicine of knowing who's doing what, and knowing what the medicines are, right? And so we went down there every day, and every day I ran off and harvested with them until they got to a point where they can send me off to do the harvesting. And I was like these kids, little, right? So when they're like that, then they have the medicine of the plant with them. Then they have the medicine of the plant with them.
With knowledge and experience, Nature's Pharmacy is open to all of us all year round. Pray all the time to the plants, to the medicine. Give thanks all the time inside of the self for all of these kinds of things, right? This is snowberry, eh? These are berries that you do not eat, right? But my auntie used to get me to pick a couple of quarts for her, and she'd keep them in her fridge, right? And she'd open them up like that. She knitted. She was a knitter. And her arthritis hurt quite a bit, right? So she used the cream on her hands. Della has a home-based apothecary where she and her family assemble healing medicines from the Cowichan Gardens.
And these guys will go in the medicine.
How did I get some
Is that your burdock?
burdock and jasmine? It's okay. Can't keep that. Oh.
Oh, this is awesome, eh?
A well-known and somewhat controversial healing plant grows here under the care of an octogenarian gardener.
You know, they're easy to keep, really. Well, I think that one over there is 8 feet. I'm 6, so this one's 7 feet, so. And they're not, I think they're pretty well done growing, as high as they're gonna grow, other than they're budding out now, see? I don't sell it, I just help my friends out. I have a friend of mine who had a bad hip, needed hip operation, and she said, "John, I haven't slept for 6 months because of my hip." So I said, "Would you like to try some marijuana and cookies and try it?" And she did, and the next day or two I saw her and I said, "How's it working out?" She said, "I've had 2 of the best night's sleep I've ever had." Friends of mine who are in pain take it, and when you do take it, you feel better. They're just using water, and they're not growing anything, so you just pull them off and just leave the buds. This one here is ready for harvesting. From the time you seed it till the time you harvest it, it's a good 3 months. We're hanging them up to dry. We've stripped the leaves off, and they make great cookies. So I think we got enough there for that batch of cookies. The more you eat, the better you feel. Super. We're just gonna slip them in the oven for about 15 minutes. There we go. If you're man enough, you eat that big one. How old am I? I'm 80. I don't take a sleeping pill from the pharmacy anymore. I take a marijuana cookie before I go to bed at night. Good stuff. A little bit goes a long way.
While we know that plants and herbs are crucial to our health as we age, many are now coming to understand that wellness can be found at a microscopic level in the soil.
It's always a good feel getting your hands in the dirt. My grandmother would talk about the ground being alive and that we have to treat it with care, and if we did, the garden would look after us. If you pick up a gram of this stuff and analyze it, there'll be at least 1 billion microorganisms in that gram of soil.
Soil, as much as plants, is a living organism. It's the bacteria, the fungi, the protozoa. There's a whole community.
David Gregg has been a vermicompost practitioner for decades. In essence, he makes soil.
It's the microorganisms you're after. That's really what the main part of this is. If you put it as a top dressing, your plants will just go wild. They found a bacteria, Mycobacteria vaccae. It's a natural occurring bacteria that's in the soil. If you're working in the soil, you disturb it. It might come in through your hands. If there's little cracks, it can come in through your olfactory senses. As it does this, it elevates your serotonin levels. They called it the new Prozac because it makes you feel happy. So far, the results have been that, yes, you feel better just being in the soil or smelling things.
We evolved here. We evolved with the earth. And all that friendly bacteria in the earth is really part of who we are. It keeps us healthy and keeps our immune system strong and vibrant and protects us. Look at that. The more you work in a garden, getting your hands dirty, I think the healthier you are. Also, the same elements, the same minerals, the same energy that went to create the garden soil are also part of my body and everybody's body. We're all part of it. We're as much a part of nature as the soil and the plants.
We evolved along with plants and animals, and we were always within nature. So nature was within us. It doesn't matter how old a person is. Giving back that sense of being useful is extremely, and once you feel useful, you have a sense of hope, and it's the sense of hope that has all this healing power. Whatever is in our body and our mind, without that sense of hope, it's not going to heal. And the garden, in its way, is helping that process along. You don't have to stretch your brain too far to make something that's absolutely beautiful. There is nothing else in the world that you can do that gives you this kind of immediate satisfaction. And so this sense of purpose and hope gives you this feeling that you are being healed, that you are whole. Now it's like I'm at the time of my life where I can sit and appreciate what I've done, or what we've done, what the plants and I have done together in a kind of concert together. My dream would be to die in this room in my favorite season, which is autumn. Sitting in a chair watching the whole world on fire, just aflame with glorious color.